What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Nicki Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
As always, thank you for joining us again. And again, still in the middle of this Corona business, so we have one match to go over, but it is a highly anticipated match.
Very,
very highly anticipated with
very.
Robert Parker making his debut against Ace Cabrera.
Yes.
Andres
Cabrera. Ace Cabrera.
So
it was a good one.
Yeah, and you know, there wasn't not a whole lot happening with the Schmoedown other than the matches. I mean, I watched backstage very loosely. It's just a lot of like reaction by the managers.
Yeah.
Roxy jumped in at one point. Kaiser jumped in, was there for most of the show. What's her name? Who made her debut? The last match we went over last week. It was
the Cherry Bomb.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, but
way to put me on the spot. Fuck. Brittany Young.
Yeah, Brittany Young.
Got
and,
it. I can pull things. Schmoedown.
And the Hurricane. Both were on backstage.
Jada Paramo.
Yes. They both were just talking
Christian
about, debuting and, doing all that stuff. So not a whole lot of controversy to talk about anything this week.
Yeah, I know that there was like controversy. I don't remember. I don't think it was this week. I think it was last week that Roca and Bateman got into it. But it's like,
I mean, I don't.
What else is new?
I don't want to get into any of that because like people, drama in the Finstock Exchange. It's like whatever.
Who cares?
It's just again, it's just personalities just collided into each other. I mean, big personalities collided into each other. So disagreements are gonna happen. So we're just gonna breeze right over that because I really didn't watch that episode. Whoops. But anything you want to talk about before we get into this match?
No. I mean, I'm interested to see. I don't know when they start dropping, but when all these Patreon matches start dropping,
the
StreamYards or whatever they've been doing it on.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how those shake out, as Kaiser would say.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, because like they've already filmed the Champions match. Mm-hmm. They've already filmed. I think it was
new releases.
I think they already did the Jurassic Park one.
Maybe rom-coms. At this point, I'm just
Park,
naming the ones that I remember that we're doing. I don't know if they've been filmed.
I always do that with Jurassic Park.
Jurassic.
It's Jurassic Park. I have no idea why I do that.
What?
I've always done. I don't know.
You say that?
Sometimes they'll slip out.
Jurassic Park.
Oh my God!
You're cute.
Silence. But anyways,
I never said Jurassic Park until just now.
I think I said it as a kid, and it slips out every once in a while, like a dummy.
It's okay. I say dumb things a lot. Just kind of almost did just now, just then.
That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this one.
McClunky.
Yeah. Every once in a while.
Appropriate.
Every once in a while. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get into this match. Since there's
let's jump right in.
But no, there was something I want to talk about. But it kind of feeds into this match and its outcome. I think they talked about on backstage was like because Roxy jumped in at one point too. It was how like the rock stars and the dungeon are having a slow start. So but we'll get into that more after we get into this match because this does lead into the outcome of this match.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
So let me get my very official notes. Here we go. Yeah. Andres Ace Cabrera versus Robert the Spider Parker. I always want to like give him a middle name. Like, I don't know why. Robert Parker. I always feel like Robert Meyer Burnett. I always want to call him like something with 3 names. I don't know why.
Let's have him on the show and ask him what his middle name is.
Robert Meyer Parker. Andres Ace is representing Swag, and Robert the Spider is representing the Dungeon.
Yes, and when we had Ben Goddard on last week,
shout out Ben.
Yeah, he took Ace. We both took Parker, just because of the hype. Because I'm familiar with Ace. You're not as familiar with Ace as I am because he's old school. Not technically old school, but like back in the day. When the Schmo Snow Show used to be on Collider, he was one of the people that helped out with the show. So I saw him regularly. He talked, and he knows movies.
But at the same time, I really haven't ever watched fan leaks.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of believing everything everyone's saying.
Falling to the hype.
I'm just going with the masses.
Like a sheep.
Like a sheep. Oh, God.
Okay.
Kalinowski
So-
isn't right. So Ace comes out with Winston to be expected. Winston, RB3, and Chandru. Swag is just, they just dance.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, that's the whole point of
So
the.
they just
the
danced
faction,
out.
right?
Ace didn't dance, but the rest of the guys did, and it just makes me happy. So that was great. Parker comes out with Kaiser, and then I have a note that Parker just took a big old lap around the set. He just walks around like he's trying to be a shark, just circling.
Wasn't there a
something.
cutscene though? There was a cutscene before.
Oh yes, there was a cutscene. I don't have any notes, but
It was really
I just watched it.
It was just
It was cute. It was
Kaiser and Smets trying to hype him up, give him like
Yeah.
couple pointers, and like Kaiser's like going, oh, don't forget to trash talk
Yeah.
your opponent, and all that.
Kaisery advice, and
and
Kevin's
Smet-
giving him like
jazz.
realer advice.
Yeah, actual like things that would help you out.
And then Kaiser's like, oh, nothing's as good as a good old poke to the ass. Just total Kaiser. I love it.
Yeah.
That was a cute cutscene. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then
because
what's
it
his
was
name
true
from
to character.
from the Butcher Boys was pacing
Oh,
back and forth.
Owen
Yeah, and he was just in the
just
background.
pacing. It looked like he was carrying like a.
He was carrying because there's a barbecue back there. It looked like he was barbecuing, but the grill wasn't really going. I don't know.
So random. It was a cute little cutscene though. I enjoyed it. But yeah, Parker came out. He did a lap around the set, and he came out. He was wearing a 3-piece suit. He had his pocket watch, and he was just ready to go. And like, I don't want to use the word debonair because somebody else claimed that, but he's just trying his best to do that kind of shit,
Yeah.
and he did a good job.
Yeah.
Let's see how he does in the match. He does pretty well.
Spoiler alert, he does very well.
Round 1. Ace. Oh, I don't know why I took a note on this, but I just said Ace misses the name of the spider in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Shelob.
Gross.
Yeah.
And then also a Harry Potter question and also a Star Trek question. I don't know why. I think I was just like assuming he would.
Yeah.
I think I was assuming
Go
he would
toe-to-toe
go.
with-
Yeah.
That's
He
what I
would go
was
like
thinking.
blow for
Especially,
blow.
yeah, it's when we talked about this before. This is the round 1 in all of the divisions so far. The questions in round 1 have been not gimmies, but not like, they have been easier, quote unquote. They haven't been as deep cut. But then when you get
But does that apply to Innergeekdom?
yes,
Okay.
yes, because I got most of them.
I didn't.
I think I missed just as many as Ace did, but I got most of them, and
I didn't.
that doesn't happen all the time in Innergeekdom,
Yeah.
and especially in singles now. I've been getting more in the first round, but then when we've seen this before, like people were getting perfect first rounds, but when it hits the second round, it's like and then they kind of like hit a wall, because the questions get significantly harder in the second round, and I like Ben, when he was on, brought up a good point that like the first round's about like all getting people into the match, and like maybe the people that are tuning into the show for the first time are like, okay, yeah, cool, this is cool. I know.
I got a
this.
question. Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
I got wow, cool, and they get into the match, but then the second round starts, and then the hard questions start coming in.
Yeah.
And
Then it
they're
becomes like, wow.
it's like, damn, these people.
That's
know
why
their
they're doing this
yeah,
shit
exactly.
and not me.
Yeah, so and that's why I thought that Ace would go toe to toe with him at least in the very first round, and if he gets at the very least 8 to 9 points, he's doing really well. But he missed 3, so he had 7 in the first round.
Excellent math. Yes.
Yes.
Parker gets a perfect round.
Yeah. That was kind of to be expected. I was fully expecting him to get a perfect first round.
He got a perfect round. He got the bonus question. So
is
at the
a
end of
flawless
round
round.
1, flawless perfecter round. At the end of that, it was 7-11. Parker. Almost said Peter Parker. Round 2. Ace goes first. He spins Star Trek first. And then in true, this is my first match fashion, he spins Star Trek and is like, no, don't want that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh
And
man,
that's-
don't do stuff like
And
that.
that's
But
that's a good thing because
I'm not, I'm just, who am I?
yeah, but
I wouldn't do that.
Me and Ben actually talked about this. Star Trek is a very tough category, and
It
especially in
is.
Innergeekdom.
Well, I mean, apart from that, I would never spin a category and be like, because then it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right. I think
okay,
I know what
now
you're
they
saying
know. Well, if they get a,
Yeah, at least pretend that you're thinking about it. And
yeah,
then,
like, Star Trek. Well, let me just pretend that I don't give a shit about this. Because if you get opponent's choice the next spin, then guess what they're gonna give you?
Star Trek, yeah.
So I'm not.
I
if
think
it was me,
I think they're gonna do that anyways, regardless if you like nope or you think on it a little bit. If it goes,
but
with
you're
choice.
like you're giving them a map to making you do shit.
That's true too.
If
Yeah.
you're like, wow, Star Trek, fuck that. Then if you get opponent's choice the next spin, I wonder what they're going to do. So, you're just telegraphing your next move.
That's true too.
So, but you do you. So I'm not playing. So he spins again and he gets Harry Potter. Well, I think it's actually called the Wizarding World, but potato.
No.
Is there a Harry Potter and a Wizarding World slice?
So there used to be. I think they eliminated.
I thought it was one and the same. But I don't know.
I think they actually mashed together for the season because it used to be Harry Potter's its own slice, which only includes the Harry Potter saga.
And then Wizarding World was like the beasts of fantastic stuff,
beasts, including Harry Potter. And I think I actually think Fantastic Beasts had its own slice at one point, but I could be wrong. But
I feel like they just kind of said Wizarding World. It's a more
it's kind of like
all encompassing.
It's kind of like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and then Middle Earth. And I think they just lumped it into one just to add less slices to put on the wheel. So
gross.
Same thing.
So he gets Harry Potter Wizarding World. How many questions are there in round 2? 4 or 5?
5 questions.
I
I
don't
believe.
want your notifications. Pinterest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all 5 questions, it goes to multiple choice.
Yeah, that's rough. And Harry Potter is depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a very tough category.
Yeah.
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 Depending, if you don't know Harry Potter very well, it's a tough category. But if you know Harry Potter very well,
yeah,
it's not so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just about to sneeze. Coronavirus.
I was like, what are you doing with your face?
I'm just trying to not sneeze. So multiple choice, he gets first question stolen. Second question, he gets it. The third question was interesting.
Is this the
let me just grab my screen capture here.
Is this the
so it
bird's
was
nest one?
It was some question about somebody's owl's name.
Yeah.
And the choices, I didn't take a picture of the question itself.
Yeah.
But he went to multiple choice and the answers were Errol, Pidgewiggin, Hermes, or Harold.
And that is exactly why I think Harry, regardless of whether or not you're good in the category or not, that's why I think it's a tough category because of names.
Because it's just it's just mumbo jumbo. Yeah. It's like somebody reached into a satchel of what's that? Scrabble tiles and just threw letters at a board.
Star Wars is a little less about this.
Not too far off.
Not too far off, but I think Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, 2 very tough categories
Lord of the
when it
Rings,
comes to names.
Yeah.
Especially places.
Yeah.
And I would argue Lord of the Rings is tougher because it's this person, son of this person. Or like, I come from here. It's like there's so much information when you first meet a character.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so your father's this person. You come from here. You come from Rivendell or something like that. And like
Rivendell is a show on.
You're talking Riverdale.
Yeah.
Rivendell is.
You're right.
Whatever.
You're right. So it was Errol, Pidgewiggin, Hermes, or Harold. Ace says, if I'm not mistaken, I think he says D, Harold. But he doesn't say D, he just says Harold. Yeah. And the way he says it,
Ellis
I don't mean to call Ellis out, but he was like, yeah, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
And he goes,
oh, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Parker goes, Errol.
And it could be argued that Parker already knew this answer.
I'm pretty certain he knew it.
Yeah, but regardless.
It was an excellent... So it was challenged.
Yeah, it was challenged
by the dungeon.
Parker gets it right.
Parker gets it right,
and Swag challenges it because...
Swag challenged it because you gave him the answer.
Yeah, no, not gave it, but like Ellis,
quote unquote.
Ellis gave him a clue as to what the right answer was because of his reaction.
Yeah.
And this is a fantastic challenge.
Because at that exact moment, I went, oh no, they rhyme.
Yeah.
And in my brain, in my guessing strategies that I developed in high school, if two answers in multiple choice are very similar or they rhyme,
you get a 50-50 chance.
That's probably your 2 answers that you should guess on.
And we were watching Ben's stream when he was rewatching this, and I think his argument was that they're so similar that they shouldn't be in the pool or something like that. That it was so, you know what I mean? That it automatically eliminates B and C because A and D, according to your reasoning, A and D should be the right answer. So you automatically get a 50-50 chance. I think that's what he was saying. I could be wrong.
I don't remember, but
hit me up.
I feel like he was hitting a different angle.
Yeah.
But I could be very wrong because I don't exactly remember what he was saying in that stream, but I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think
because he was talking about like who wants to be a millionaire when you do like a lifeline 50-50. There should be at least 2 that it's like, fuck, okay, it's one of these two, but which one? You
Yeah.
know? I don't remember exactly what his argument
It was
was.
something about that I think he was saying that the challenge or something rather lines that the question should be thrown out because of the rhyming or something like that. Or he said that they challenged because of that or something to that effect. But the bottom line, the challenge wasn't because of that. It was because of Ellis giving that hint away.
Which was an excellent challenge. Didn't end up making a difference.
Yeah, because what happened was the question was thrown out, given a new question, but he was automatically given multiple choice because
To Parker. Ace got it wrong. He was done.
Yes, so the possibility of a 2-point steal is out of the window because he went multiple choice. So they have to give him a 1-point question.
Yeah. So they gave it to Parker, and he got an automatic multiple choice for 1
bad
point.
for audio listeners, me face palming.
If you do it hard enough, they hear it.
I don't want to have a big welt on my head because multiple times I'll be doing that. Especially if Goddard's on the show, I'll be hitting my face over and over again. And
hit me up, Ben. It's about time you came back. It's been too long.
We just saw him Friday?
Yeah. Anyways, the last
which was yesterday. We're filming this on a Saturday.
Yeah. The last two multiple choices were stolen. It was didn't go well. So then Parker goes. He gets spinner's choice.
Oh yeah.
Woof.
Yeah.
Big oof, as the kids would say.
Based off the hype and what I've seen thus far from out of this match, the whole wheel of spinner's choice.
He's the real deal, from what it seems. I mean, it's only one match, so let's not get our dicks in a twist.
Let's go ahead and get to what his because there is a big point in here that I want to talk about.
Yes, so he gets spinner's choice. He picks Middle Earth. That's a bold move, Cotton.
Because that is a big category, very very tough category.
So there's actually two questions that oh god. Damn it.
So let's get to the first one. I think it was the bird's nest
Question
or whatever.
Question one. First question of Middle Earth. What does Aragorn discover among the remains from the battle between the Uruk-hai and Rohirrim that leads him to believe Merry and Pippin might be dead?
Okay.
Andrew took what word am I looking for?
Offense.
Maybe
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good word.
So
Andrew took issue with this question.
The answer they accepted was a belt. And they accepted that, which I think is technically wrong. But before I get into my argument, Ben on his stream brought up the argument that it's not,
a solid argument.
This question is riddled in problems because it's not Aragorn that discovers the thing.
It's Gimli. It's
Gimli.
Who hasn't seen the movie?
Aragorn discovers their tracks, which leads them to, I think it's Fangorn Forest. Yes. It leads them to the forest, and that's what clues them off to that they're not dead. But even if the question is worded right, and they say, what is Aragorn discovered that... Well, what was the question again?
Oh, hold on. Let me unlock my phone. The question is, what does Aragorn discover among the remains from the battle?
From the battle
of Uruk-hai and Rohirrim.
There should be more to the question.
That leads him to believe Merry and Pippin might be dead.
So this object leads you to believe that Merry and Pippin are dead. So it would be an object that is solely distinguishable to them. And if you watch the movie, all of the Fellowship have all these things that are given to them by the people of Rivendell. They have the cloaks and their little pin, and I think that all the hobbits are given they're daggers, but to them they're swords. Because they're so small. But Robert Parker's answer was a belt. Yeah. Now, based on that, a belt is a belt. A belt is just a strap of leather. Who the fuck can reach into fire and remains and it's like, oh, it's a belt? He would just go, okay, it's a belt. The thing that distinguishes that item that attaches them to Merry and Pippin is the sheath that holds their swords, which is very, very obvious that it's Elvish. So, based on that, I think Parker was wrong. I think he should have got that question wrong because it is not the belt that clues them off. It's the sheath to the knife that was given to them.
So, yeah. And I think you have a valid argument because I know we keep referencing Ben's stream.
Yeah.
Sure, I watch Ben's stream, I guess. He showed the clip.
Yeah.
And this is the only reason that I'm aware of what you're talking about, because it was when he picked up the thing, it wasn't like, I mean, if we're kind of getting into the weeds here a little bit, but it wasn't like a belt. It's
like a slither of a belt.
It was a sheath with like belt straps that were like burnt.
Now coming from a person that has not seen the movies,
Yep,
you're
that's
seeing
me.
this for the very first time.
Yep.
And the way the way the picture is framed, the way that the Gimli's holding the item, where does your eye immediately go?
Yeah, I'm not sure I would describe that as a belt.
Yeah.
I think I would describe that more
But where does your eye immediately go to?
to where the dagger would go.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's a very intricate design. It's something very like, if you look at the rest of the things at Urukai, there's nothing in that pile that is like that. That's a very unique item.
Yeah.
So based off of everything that you just said, everything that I just noticed, Parker's wrong in that question. That should if I was in that match against him and he said, "Oh yeah, it's a belt," and they accepted, I'm like, no, I am immediately challenging that because he's wrong.
But
he's flat out wrong.
That's part of the game. They accepted it, and
Ace didn't,
Ace didn't know
Yeah.
better, and obviously Winston didn't know better.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm curious about with challenges, let's say that question comes up, and let's say that, you know, we're well aware that RB3 and Chandru were both there because they came out with Winston and Ace.
Yeah.
So let's say that question happens. Let's say Winston, maybe not that well versed in Middle Earth,
And he does,
but let's say RB3 and or Chandru were along your line of thinking and were like, it's fucking sheath.
Yeah.
Can they talk to Winston and be like, dude, challenge that?
So.
Or is it like, no, that's too much. You can't have all those brains, you know, coming into, you know, funneling into one challenge point.
So this is the thing.
Because if that's the point, if that's the case, then have your whole faction there and just have all those minds if you can.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Say I'm competing.
Yeah.
And I know the question that you're my Star Wars opponent, and I know the answer you just gave is wrong. I'm not counting on Dagnino, because how much does Dagnino know about Star Wars? How much and the only person, I think arguably the only person that could help me out with challenges is either Riley or Roka.
Yeah.
And even then I'm like, right? So the person that I have to rely on challenges is me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be a point to where that it just came down to Ace not realizing that question, that answer was wrong.
I see your point.
So,
but I see your point, but it just makes me wonder.
Is it against the rules for other competitors to help out the manager?
Like, what if Chandra knew that? Is he allowed to whisper to Winston, like, bro, challenge that shit? Or is that like some sort of collusion? And no, that's not fair. I imagine it would lean towards the side of, no, that's not fair, because why have a manager if anybody can chime in and say challenge?
I think,
you know?
I think the point of the manager is that that there's not 100 voices yelling at the people at the desk. So it's one person coming up to the desk saying, "Hey, we're challenging this."
I think that's a part of it. But I do wonder, can other teammates that happen to be there chime in?
Up to that point, that exact same point. Let's say this is football, and they challenge shit all the time in football, and like, say like there's it determines if the person is in bounds or out of bounds, and like the coach isn't looking at the screen. He's worried about the next play, but there's players looking at the screen like, "Oh, coach, look at that. Coach, go challenge it." Or usually a challenge happens, somebody up in the booth, not the head coach. Coach is worried about the next play, and somebody up in the booth goes, "Hey," he radios down. It's like, "Hey, he's in bounds. Go challenge that."
Hey, dummy.
So it's not technically the coach that necessarily sees it, but is informed by somebody else. It's like, all right, so let's go ahead and challenge that. So I imagine it's along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think the whole point of a manager is that in the case of Innergeekdom and Star Wars, where they're not necessarily an authority on that subject, but it's to prevent from a million people going, hey, you should challenge it, hey. So it's not like, you know, the people on the desk are bombarded with everybody. There's your challenge. Like, all right, so officially this person needs to come up and say, we're challenging this.
I wonder, though, because you bring up an excellent argument, because that does happen in football.
Yeah.
But I just wonder about Schmoedown specifically, because I would not put it past some people to be like, that's not fair. You know, Finstock Exchange. Maybe, I don't know, who's a random, maybe Craig's on the desk and he's the one in a match. He's fantastic, by the way. But let's say he gets a question, and let's say Dan Murrell and Roka are in the audience. And
they're
reigning champions. And they're like, hey, Tom,
Yeah.
fuck that answer. I would wager there'd be other people that's like, that's not fair that you have Dan Murrell telling Tom to challenge. So I'm just curious how it works.
That's true, but like, yeah.
I just wonder.
That's a question for Christian and Mark.
Yeah.
And
is that cheating
Clark.
of some sort?
And yeah, so this is absolutely a question for somebody that I would ask. It would either be Clark Wolf, Christian Harloff, and Mark Ellis.
Yeah.
The three authorities in the Schmoedown right now.
Curious.
So, I mean, that's a great question. I don't see it as cheating because, again, like in any other sport, there's a sport now. So, like in any other sport, you have a million people talking to the coach and the managers. So it's like, it's real. I think the point of it is just not that everybody's not like yelling at you.
Yeah. And you can't really like target and be like, that's not fair. You got Dan Murrell. That's not fair. You got this person. Hey man, the draft was the draft. Everybody had.
That's the point of the draft.
You know,
like you don't only just get great competitors. You have great support now.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder.
And really, I think it would just come down to challenge, like on challenges. I think this is a great. This match is a great example of, as far as like knowledge goes, Winston really doesn't have like an authority on it as much anymore. But the fact that he challenged the whole that one with the multiple choice, with the multiple choice being so random,
fantastic.
It was a fantastic challenge. That's the kind of stuff that managers should pay attention to. I think you let the manager take care of that side of it, and then the knowledge based challenges, like, hey, I knew that answer was wrong, falls on the competitor. Because they're so into the, like,
they're the one that should be the authority on it.
They're the one that should be paying attention to that shit. Let everything else like what Winston did. Let the managers do that because wording of questions.
It's more of a technicality, more so than content.
So and
that makes sense.
Again, that's a fantastic question because we don't know if that's against the rules.
I don't know, and I'm
because
curious.
Who's to say that Sam Levine ever does manage again because he's so busy? Say he does come in and manage one of the things. His fiance Rachel will be in studio, and she might be whispering in his like, hey,
and to have
and
Sam and Rachel in your corner.
Exactly.
Fuck.
So like, how far does that go? And I imagine that if that's the case, then Rachel wouldn't be able to advise him because she's not technically a part of the usual suspects. I imagine if we're gonna do stuff like that.
No, I imagine that wouldn't be cool because she's not on the team.
Yeah, exactly. So I imagine if they are gonna implement some kind of rule as to who can advise the manager for challenges,
be a part of the team.
It's your competitors only.
Yeah.
So I think that might be an unofficial rule that they might start implementing because it would be unfair for like people not in the faction at all. Like, hey,
no, that would
wrong.
be totally unfair. Like just because you're engaged to Rachel Cushing.
But also on that point as well, the crowd also does play a part in this because sometimes when a question does end up going wrong, people are yelling like, "Whoa, challenge it!" Then the manager will be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And then the competitor go like, "Yeah, let's talk about this really quick."
Yeah.
So that's a very sketchy part of the game now because where do we draw the line?
It's hard for everything to be black and white. Nothing is always. We talked about this with Ben. Again, I keep referencing Ben, but we talked about it. Like nothing is going to be. Not every single rule is going to be black and white. Yeah. There's always going to be things that are evolving. There's always going to be gray areas, and this might be one of them.
There's going to be there's going to be a whole lot led. Like actually like leaning on subjectivity and like how people see things unfolding.
Yeah.
So
let's move on to the next question because
again,
we took a lot of time for that.
I think Parker was wrong. I think that question that the answer he gave should not have been awarded. I think he should have gotten that wrong.
Spicy take. So. Question 2, another spicy take. This take comes to us, courtesy of
Ben Goddard.
Wow, weird.
Wow, imagine that.
Wow, fucking crazy. So, question 2, Middle Earth. The wizard Radagast has what living under his cap? Parker's answer was a bird's nest. And Benjamin
technically he
Goddard.
Is right. This is where I'm going to disagree with on him. So
Benjamin Goddard said he would have challenged that one because a bird's nest is an inanimate object. It's not living. It's a bird living under his hat, cap, wizard hat.
Yeah.
So bird nest is not a living entity in and of itself. So that's why he would have challenged.
My argument is that anytime you mention a bird's nest, you're assuming that birds live there. That birds are there.
We are mincing words a bit because obviously if it's a bird's nest, a bird's gonna be living in it.
Who knows that maybe that was a judgment call by who was on this, or it actually said on the sheet
bird's nest.
Bird's nest.
Because I don't fucking know. Maybe when he took his hat off, maybe it was a bird nest.
No, there was an actual bird's nest with a bird in it. So I've only seen that movie once.
But I think we're just mincing words like living under his hat.
Yeah.
A bird's nest is not living. And I'm not going to lie. After I heard Ben say that, I fucking Googled, is a bird's nest considered to be living? Didn't really get great results.
I'm trying to get the face. There we go.
There it is.
There it is.
Because you never know. You never know.
I mean,
science is weird.
It's the wording of the question.
It might be a living thing.
It houses living
I mean,
like animals.
We could be getting into like a lot of bullshit here with what's considered living, a heartbeat. Burp, burp,
I just
burp.
think you're just getting on technicalities right now. It's not like that last question where I said he is wrong in that answer because of the belt thing.
I think even Ben with the bird's nest thing, I think even Ben was like, I know I'm getting a little bit in the weeds here.
This question is if you would have challenged it, this is a stretch.
I think he said it would have been. I don't know if he said the word petty.
He said petty.
Yeah, it would have been a bit petty.
It would have been a petty challenge,
but
just to get under his opponent's skin.
You got to do what you got to do. I mean, if that was Ben Bateman in that match, would he have challenged a bird's nest is not living?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely.
So you got to do what you got to do. And I know that it's a pain in the ass for the announcers, but I respect a challenge like that because I want to win too.
Yeah.
I like winning. Who doesn't? So if that's what's going to do it for you, then challenge it, bitch. So let's move on. So, challenge it, baby.
That's great for our audio listeners. Can't see it. So if you want to see all these shenanigans, go over to youtube.com.
Hit us up on youtube.com/Andrew and Nikki. So actually, I think those were the two biggest things in his round because
he just ran through this category.
Oh boy, did he run through it. Yeah. You know, I don't even think he had to get through his whole round two because he reached that threshold where it became 23-8 in favor of Parker in a knockout.
Not in a technical knockout, but a knockout.
KO.
And this I did not see coming. I thought Ace was going to put up a bigger fight.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't know his shit. Here's my argument. There are people that know movies, and then there are people that know the movies. You know what I mean? Like, I know there are people that Star Wars. I know Star Wars. You know what I mean?
I think the better way to phrase that would be I've seen Star Wars, but Andrew fucking knows it.
Yeah, but here's my argument. Ace is in the realm of he knows directors. He can tell, this person directed this. He knows actors. He knows how to analyze film. He knows how to hey, the story structure is this and that. Like I could do the same thing. Like I went to school for it.
What a Gimli pull out of this pile of shit.
Yeah, exactly. But then there are people like Robert Parker and myself with Star Wars that are like, we know these movies forwards, backwards, in our sleep, and those are the things that Parker knows. Ace knows movies in the way that he's in
a more critical way.
In a critical way, in more of like a movie review type of person. That you know what I mean?
In a more artistic way.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like this is what happened in that scene. Not to say that he doesn't know that stuff, but you know.
Great example. We had Ken Knapsack on our stream.
Love Ken.
On Going Rogue. Love Ken. Absolutely.
Love him.
Great voice for Star Wars.
Love Ken.
Ken knows Star Wars.
Hell yeah, he does.
But I know Star Wars too. I'm more geared towards trivia knowledge. He knows Star Wars. I know Star Wars. You know what I mean? He can dive deep into the character development and like things that I would never think to see and talk about in Star Wars on a weekly basis. But when you put us against trivia knowledge, he himself says he said it so much on our show. It's like, God bless you, man, because he's tired of the trivia.
Yeah, he's not part of that anymore.
He's not part of that anymore, and I think this is what separates Ace from Robert Parker.
I'm pretty sure people think he's still competing in Star Wars.
He's not.
Maybe he'll surprise us.
He said it on the afternoons. He said it on our show that he's done with the trivia.
Maybe he'll surprise us, but not looking good.
But yeah, like I think that's what distinguishes the difference between Ace and Robert Parker. Parker is more on the side that I'm on, with knowing the movies, quotes, scenes, and just plots and
living,
actors.
eating, breathing the movies.
Living, eating, breathing the movies. Ace is more on the side of a critical person, saying he can pick apart the movie with themes.
They know it. They just know it in different ways.
They knew it. Yeah, exactly. That's a better way to put it. They know the movies in different ways.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like, wow, Ace just fucking doesn't know anything.
He knows
he knows it. He just knows it in a different way.
Yeah, and he's not only with Innergeekdom movie. I think he went into Innergeekdom because most of the more movies that he loves are in that category. His knowledge also branches out to general movie knowledge because they talk about it all the time on their podcasts, on the meaning of podcast. Meaning of podcast goes.
Probably shouldn't promote another podcast on our podcast, but it's kind of hard to
RB3
not
hit me up. I want you on the show,
man.
Meme.
Yeah, RB3. What's up?
I'm gonna reach out to him soon. Not that he listens to the show.
Hey, RB3.
You said he wanted to be on when we were out in LA.
Boy, what's up?
Yeah, so that's what I would say. Like Ace talks about movies regularly, but he doesn't really like he can't really recite the movies
and pick apart
the movies on just small details. It's like, hey, how many almonds were in that jar when this person was eating them?
How many eyes does a Vexus snake have in Rise of Skywalker?
6. But
6 is correct.
Yeah.
You are right.
But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. But anything that we have to talk about post game interview?
Let me see what I got in my notes because I do think I have some. Kaiser. He says the dungeon will not lose, and I always want to say Instagram when I say IG.
In the Innergeekdom.
Kaiser says the dungeon will not lose in Innergeekdom.
Well, this is kind of like a Dagnino argument where, like, if one of your players already holds the belt, and
it's inevitable.
You're gonna lose in this division.
If you're saying that Parker is gonna fucking tear through this thing,
then yeah,
and he faces Smets, somebody's gonna win. But I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying. I'm
Technically,
not taking
they're
him
not
literally.
Going to lose, quote unquote.
Not taking
in
him
IG.
quite so literally. Jen asks if it's a conflict of interest having Smets and Parker on the same team. Kaiser says as long as the belt stays in the dungeon, it's a good day.
I don't see how that's a conflict of interest to have him.
Well,
like
because
that.
I'm guessing what she's saying is how can you cheer for Smets to keep the belt and cheer for Parker to get the belt?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I don't know if that just made
sense. It's kind of like how the very first.
How could you cheer for two people to get the same thing?
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of like how the Defenders Exchange had Ben and Guy.
Exactly.
That guy. Wow, Ben and
Merle.
Exactly. Same match. It's the same. Yeah, same.
How can you want this person to keep it and at the same time want this person to take it?
How can you want who's the boss go for the titles when the title holders are people in the same faction?
Exactly.
I mean, God.
So I think that's what she was going for.
Finstock Exchange problems, right, guys?
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So the Innergeekdom belt and its biggest contender right now is probably monopolized by the dungeon.
Yeah.
So it's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
So then, that was basically their interview.
Yeah.
Ace says that he knows he could have done better.
Yeah.
Says the lights probably must have gotten
Which
to
is
him.
surprised. It's not like he hasn't been on camera before.
But I imagine it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, I mean the last month that Jedi Council was a thing. He was a co-host.
But it's much different.
Yeah,
I mean, I
true.
can co-host a show, but do I know shit about any movie? No. So it's like you can co-host something, but when it comes down to like, hey, stupid, do you know the answer to this question?
Yeah, that's true.
And then everybody's staring at you and they start counting down at you. That's kind of nerve-wracking. I mean, I think it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I've never competed.
I don't know. It was just surprising me that, like he said, the lights kind of got to him because it's like, you're not new to this, technically.
In a way, but I still think he is. Yeah. In a way.
I think just the pressure. I don't think the lights. I think the pressure got to him because he was up against somebody that with like
that's probably a better way.
Somebody everybody's talking about and all the hype is on him. And like it's like when in his like pre-game interview, he's like, "I'm just here to have fun." It's like, all right, this is gonna be a savaging because
whenever
I didn't
someone
see
says
it being
that.
a TKO, but when everybody says anything, that's like, all right, so you're just setting yourself up for failure. And it's like guaranteed people like Parker, Smets. The Rokas, the Merles. I don't think they've ever said, "I'm just here to have fun." It's like, no, I'm here to fucking win. So,
right.
So you know what I mean? It's like and whenever a competitor comes out like, "I'm just here to have fun. I want to have fun."
I think it's more of a defensive mechanism. So
yeah,
it's like
so
if you lose, it's not that much of a blow.
And that's the thing. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're expecting yourself to fail this. So it's like you have this excuse like, "I was just here for fun anyways."
Yeah,
so
I didn't really care.
And again, this is coming from somebody that takes this game so insanely serious.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, oh, I'm just here to have fun, maybe you're already in the mindset of like, I'm probably going to lose. So let me just save face.
Yeah.
Not that that's what he was doing, but, outside looking in could be a perception.
Yeah.
Everybody's perception is their own reality, psychology.
Does he say anything else? Because I think that's really the bulk of his post-match interview.
He says that he wants to play again so that he would have time to prep and learn and work on his weaknesses and stuff. Ken, I just thought this was funny, so I took a note that they were talking about swag, and Ken said, "Oh yeah, drip drip. It's like my doctor explaining my prostate problems." And that's the end of my notes.
God, I love Ken. He's so funny.
His wit is just so quick. It's so good.
I love the jokes about
self-deprecating jokes.
Yeah, like the whole like my second divorce. Like it's like we know he hasn't been divorced. We know he hasn't had any other like.
He's so fucking funny. I love Ken. My God, drip drip. As Andrew goes to drink water.
But yeah, so if Ace was to face somebody else, who can you see him facing? I could see him somebody like Emily Rose.
I could see him facing Emily, especially both coming off of a loss. It just kind of makes sense.
More importantly, who does Robert face next?
Obviously not Chantru because he's got number one contender.
Yeah, his next match will be a title match. Not Merle because Merle has yet to compete.
Not Merle because Merle's still considered a rookie in this division. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
crazy.
The name
Merle hasn't been a rookie. Merle hasn't been a rookie since season 3.
Merle hasn't been a rookie in since
4 years.
The 80s or something. I don't. Could you see Parker? Could you see Parker going right into a Brandon Hanna? Or would he be going more into and not to say that anyone's better or worse, but could you see him going to a Brandon Hanna or an Adam Hlavik?
I need to see. Can you bring up
Schmoedownlive.com? Yeah, it's in my favorites.
Yeah, so for anybody that wants to see the leaderboards, the rankings, the schedule supposedly, to go to the Schmoedownlive.com, and especially if you want to get tickets when they are available again, head to Schmoedownlive.com just because you can. A whole wealth of knowledge is there. You can look at records. At one point before the draft, you were able to make a mock draft and things like that. So,
what am I looking up?
Look up the rankings for the Innergeekdom because there are definitely players there that I'm forgetting about. And I need to be able to see who is in the division right now and who has one win or something like that because.
I got it.
Okay.
Right here, internet. So, Innergeekdom Division 2020. So, we got, I'm assuming that the only people on here are the only people that have played. So, we got Damon. We got with a win. We got Jacobson with a loss. We got Dandapani with a win. We got Hannah with a loss.
Yeah.
We got Parker with a win. We got Cabrera with a loss. So, that's who we got live in the division.
The rankings, though.
Oh.
Because Chandru is the number one ranked, so go to rankings.
Innergeekdom. Lifetime Innergeekdom division? Maybe?
Yes. Yeah, because that actually plays into who you'll play next based off of their records. So you have the rankings.
Holy shit, there's a lot of names. Here, so let's check it out.
Let's do top 10.
Because there's a name on there that I'm like, what? Who's that?
Holy shit, no.
Right?
No, I just want rankings.
Uh-oh.
Talk amongst yourself. Give them a topic.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. How about we talk about how San Diego Comic-Con was canceled and how I'm very nervous that Celebration's going to get canceled. But San Diego Comic-Con was in June? That's right around the corner, kind of. Okay, I mean, it's already mid-April.
So anyways.
Wow, we didn't really even get that far into the meat of that.
But yeah, so I probably the next person he's going to go up against is probably Hannah, unless they're waiting on Merle to play, because.
But I can't see them putting a hyped up, coming off a hot KO player like Parker against. I mean, like it or not, Merle's a rookie in this division. I just can't see them putting him against.
Here's the point. So I'm saying wait for Merle to get his first win. Ooh. So once he goes, so the next person he'd have to face is either Hannah or somebody else that's
I see what
1-0.
you're saying.
So,
Say Merle wins.
So it's either Merle or Damon that he goes up against. That most likely Damon won't play him because of East Coast and availability. So Merle's probably the next best bet.
Maybe.
So while we're on the topic of Parker and who he should be facing next, we have a topic from a squadron commander.
Who is that? Who could that be?
Ferris Mathana. Ferris Mathana asks, because if you are at the commander tier on our Patreon, become a member of Squadron at patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki. But if you are a Squadron commander, you get to dictate the conversation for our weekly shows.
Hell yeah, Ferris.
Ferris Mathana just simply asks, can Parker sustain this drive, basically, this dominance, I should say. So...
I can't wait to find out.
I can't wait to find out, but I think once he gets... I think if he goes up against somebody like... Say he does go against Damon or Hannah. I say he's just as strong. I don't know if it's knockout. Maybe a TKO.
I don't think it's knockout.
I don't think... With Alex... Maybe.
Because see, it's so hard. Because with somebody like Alex Damon and with somebody like Robert Parker, all we have is one match to go on.
Yeah.
They've gotten one slice to go on.
But based off of this one, Parker looked insanely
Parker
good.
looked insanely
he
dominant.
Looks insane. Like, I was like, can he live up to the hype? To me, he lived up to the hype. He didn't even
he did.
He doesn't even look like he broke a sweat in this match.
Based on this one match. If you're saying based on Parker's match, based on Damon's match, Parker's going to win.
Yeah.
But that's based on that one match.
Yeah.
And you can't really dictate somebody's entire career on one match. We saw Parker take on Middle-earth. That's fucking it.
Yeah.
We saw Damon take on
Harry Potter. But
That's fucking it.
But he didn't do as good as Parker in that.
True.
Because he went to multiple choice several times. In
True.
this match.
But to Damon's,
Credit. I think
defense.
it was opponent's choice, wasn't it? Or no.
It wasn't. But to Damon's defense and credit, now he knows. I should probably watch Harry Potter again.
Yeah.
So you can't dictate. Oh well, yeah. Robert Parker is gonna fucking kill anybody that he goes up against because look what he did to Ace.
Yeah.
We've only seen him steal in one category and run through another.
Yeah.
That's 2 categories out of how many?
Yeah, and we haven't seen him in the 3rd round. But
exactly.
To your argument, this looks suspiciously familiar. It looks very similar to Kevin Smets's run. He ran through everybody.
True. And maybe Parker will do the same.
And he really didn't get tested until he got to Kalinowski. The 2 people that gave him the most out of anybody is Kalinowski and Chandru.
Yeah.
So
and Kalinowski's out of the running right now.
Yeah, because he wants to focus on teams right now. So really, the only people that I can see giving Smets a hard time is Chandru and Robert Parker.
Are there any other rookies that we're not thinking about?
Barbarian says he wants to go into
There
IG.
probably
Ben said he's gonna make his debut in IG.
Goddard.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody, I know there's other people.
I know there's other people that we're absolutely forgetting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more Innergeekdom competitors that we're just not thinking of.
Based on what I saw out of him in this match, I mean, this is
insane.
Just the fact that he got a flawless first round. He stole a lot from Ace in a tough category in Harry Potter, in my opinion. And then he ran through, even though I think his first answer was technically wrong, but he ran through a really tough category. He didn't
Middle Earth is probably something people be like, ugh.
There are times when competitors go run a category, but they'll go,
he was like, yup, belt, yup, a bird nest.
He was so quick on those answers. He did not. That's why I said he didn't sweat in this match.
No, he didn't.
So based off of what I saw from this one match and the fact that this guy has been hyped up, and they said he TKO'd Smets in the fan leagues.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, fan league questions aren't that easy either.
No,
they're ridiculous.
I wouldn't think they would be because they want to prove something.
Yeah. So based on everything that I've heard about this kid, everything that I've seen out of this match, I think he can sustain it. It's just a matter of who he's going up against. Because arguably Kevin Smets's run was he went up against Jay Washington, not the best competitors out there. Who else did he go up against? He went up against like a ring rust Navarro. Actually, he against Halavic, who wasn't on his best day anyways, because he spent 5 hours in Hall H at Comic-Con, so he wasn't at his best either. So does he have a similar run in that case, or is he just gonna? It doesn't matter who you put up against. He's just gonna run through everybody. So
I think it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because I think that on one hand, I don't think it's fair to judge somebody based on one match, even 2 matches. But on the other hand, holy shit, he was amazing in that match. I agree with you. I'm gonna keep on continuing buying into it, and I'm gonna assert that I think that he could keep this up.
It's just I think it depends on
Depends on if Smets is a roadblock for him. And first of all, let's see if he makes it to Smets.
He's got to go through.
He's got a road to travel.
He's got to go through. I'd imagine he has to go through Hannah.
Chandru, depending on who wins the next match.
Depending on how everything shakes out, he's gonna have to go. Probably go through Merle. At the very least, Merle, Hannah, and Chandra. At the very least, he might have to go.
Damon.
He might have to go against Damon. If Barbarian's serious about getting her into geekdom, maybe Ben. Ben has been killing it.
Because I think Ben is sneaky underrated.
He's sneaky underrated, yeah.
But we'll see what happens with Innergeekdom.
But I think it's possible that he keeps this dominance up.
I think it's very possible.
It's just it with an asterisk of who he goes up against and how the rest of the division shakes out. So those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Do you want to wait? Sorry. Do you want to see him like come out and like do a magic trick?
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes, I want to see him do a magic trick.
I want to see him like pull something out of a hat and it's like.
So after the draft, we all went to what was that bar?
Saddle Ranch.
We all went to Saddle Ranch. He was doing magic tricks for everybody.
It was great.
And it was
we
awesome.
were just sitting at the bar, and he just walks up, starts talking. I don't even remember when we were drinking, but I don't even remember how it happened. I don't know if he fucking carries cards around him wherever he goes.
But he just like, just carries
hey, babies, you want to see a magic trick? And he just starts doing shit. Makuga walked up at one point, and he's just like, what the fuck?
You should just like a simple, like, you know. Like
I don't remember exactly what he did, but I remember being like, shit. This guy's good.
It was mostly card tricks.
Oh, at one point, was it that it was, classic, like, is it your card?
Yeah.
Like, he had somebody guess a card. Was it that he was like, is it your card? And, pick a card. I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to do that with it. And then he was like, but is this your card? And he like pulled his shirt. Was that what it was?
It was a tattoo, yeah.
And it was like on his chest. And
he also
like,
did that
boy.
that classic one where he has you sign it and it switched hands. Like your card switched it. That was insane. But like,
he's good.
I would at the very least like him to have come out and do like a sleight of hand, like a really quick sleight of hand trick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something that's very simple. I would love to see that.
That'd be great.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for that topic, Ferris Mathana again.
Yeah, Ferris.
Squadron Commander.
You're awesome.
Thank you for that. But there was something that I wanted to talk about. Because based off of the standings right now, this is the Dungeon's first win of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They went 0-3 until Parker's win, so now they're 1-3.
Correct.
And this was a topic about backstage because Roxy came on backstage and said, like, slow start to the season. You only have one win with Damon with the live Atlanta event. So both of these teams have knockouts.
Yeah.
From the IG, isn't that funny? So they both have.
Was Damon a knockout or TKO?
TKO, but you still get the same amount of points.
Oh, I thought you would get like one more for a knockout.
Do you?
That seems kind of. I mean, I imagine you should. It's harder to get a knockout than a TKO, but they're both hard to get.
They both have 4 points.
I'm the asshole. Fuck me, I never eat here anyway.
Yeah, so they both have knockouts, so they both have.
Anybody get that reference? Does anybody know what I'm referring to?
Say?
Don't give it away.
What'd you say?
Like, I'm the asshole. I never eat here anyway.
I'm pretty sure people know.
Anybody know what that's from? Let me know.
I know what it is.
But I say that.
Right in the comments below or in the live chat because this is premiering, so talk to us in the live chat.
I quote that more than I probably should.
Yeah. But yeah,
so
they both have 4 points. So they both are going, slow start, but, we'll make up points. I think based off of these two, because it's like, since they were on backstage, who do you think has a better chance of making up the points based off of this start? Because
between Rockstars and the Dungeon? Without having a roster of both teams in front of me. Because it's just fucking hard to keep track of who's on what team. There's a lot of people. My gut reaction is I think the Rockstars have a better chance.
Me too. And this is
of gaining more ground with their players.
And this is why I think we might be in the same agreement here because the Rockstars losses are in teams and singles.
Yeah.
But I think the Dungeon has more losses. But you're guaranteed gonna see Andreyko and Snyder again.
Yeah.
Especially in both the singles and the team tournament.
Because
they're
and Draco's out for blood.
And they're two proven commodities in the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the dungeon comes back from this hole, because they're banking all their points on IG.
It does seem that way.
And you're banking on the fact that Parker knocks out everybody, because they got to knock out. They got 4 points. What place were they in? Jesus.
Well, because you're banking that. If you're putting a lot of your eggs in the Innergeekdom basket and you got Parker and Smets not going to play.
Yeah.
He's not going to play a lot until he's got to put his belt on the line.
1, 2, 3.
So
4.
It's like you're not getting your points from Smets because he doesn't have to do anything until a championship match comes up.
After this knockout, the dungeon's in 7th place. That they're not even nowhere near the middle now. So
you just got to hope that Parker is a knockout artist with everybody.
And the fact that they're losing in the regular divisions, and the fact that there's so many people waiting for their turn to get in there, it's gonna be a while before you needed these first wins to get a strong case for the tournament.
Yeah.
And now that all your singles and teams players are losing, it's gonna be hard to get you in turn, because that's where you're gonna make up the points. You know that the odd couple, both Andreyko and Snyder, are gonna be competing in both tournaments.
Yeah.
You can easily make up your points then. I don't see that happening for the dungeon right now, so you're really hoping that, and the fact that Rockstars also has Alex Damon, so
in 2 divisions
that
are worth more points than the other divisions.
Yeah. So
granted, Star Wars doesn't play half as much as the other ones, but and
Alex isn't going to compete in Star Wars until a title match.
Yeah. True.
So, but he's making up those points in IG anyways. So I would say Rockstars looks better right now.
Yeah.
Than the dungeon. Granted, again, Rockstars hasn't gotten a great start because all your heavy hitters went up first. You're really now you're really banking on that the bottom half of your roster is gonna have to step up now.
Yeah.
And get those points and maybe get them into the tournaments.
Yeah.
Just so we have yet to see, because Howard has yet to go. Stacey Howard has yet to go.
Has yet
to go. I can't remember who else is on her squad.
Yeah.
But
we should have like a living document of all the people's.
But yeah, so I would say Rockstars has a better chance, but I just don't see how the dungeon makes up these points now.
Yeah, because if you're like, we're gonna make our points up in Innergeekdom.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fine. I respect that.
Yeah.
But if that means that you're not too worried about losing in singles, you're not too worried about losing in teams. But it doesn't matter, because we're going to make our points up in Innergeekdom. But you're still giving points up in the other divisions.
Oh, yeah. You're
still...
That's a fantastic point. I did not think of that.
Thank you.
So,
you're
making...
This is what I fucking do.
You're banking on knockouts from Parker to get 4 points each round. But the more you lose in singles...
The more you're just giving up points.
You're giving points away to the top tiers.
You're just giving them layups.
So it's like, you're making up, so for every 2 steps you step forward, you're taking 3 steps back, because you're losing all these singles and teams matches.
Not to say that all of his non-Innergeekdom competitors are going to lose.
Yeah.
But
they've all lost so far.
If we're throwing all of our faith in Innergeekdom,
you have to, because that's why a lot of people said you didn't do too well in the draft, because you blew all your eggs on Robert Parker and just waiting for Innergeekdom. Yes, the IG and Star Wars matches are worth more points, but the bulk
of a risky game.
Your bulk of your points are gonna be taken in the singles and teams division, because that's where all the matches are. Because IG is getting more matches now, but not as much as teams and singles. So that's why I thought he didn't do great in his draft, and now he's just We're doing Beyond the Smart on ASMR. Welcome to the channel, people. I hope you're doing relaxed. This is terrible radio, by the way.
Agree to disagree.
Nikki loves ASMR.
Whoa. I do, but that's embarrassing to admit that.
So
whatever, I don't care. I like ASMR. It helps me fall asleep.
So
Fuck with it.
Anything else that you want to talk about? Because that was my biggest point that I wanted to talk about, is that the dungeon does not look good right now. And who says that Parker goes up against Merle, and Merle gives him all he can, and Parker ends up losing that match. So now it's like, oh well, oops.
Yeah, because I mean, it has happened that people have like super strong matches, and the next one, doesn't go the same way. I don't think that's going to happen for Parker.
I don't see it, but
stranger things have happened. I just, Parker is a force to be reckoned with in Innergeekdom. So I would actually love to see a showdown between Parker and Smets. That'd be
great.
Since Kalinowski is not, it'd be great, but I know it's not going to happen. But, just in a fairy tale world, oh boy, a triple threat with Smets, Chandru, and Parker. Innergeekdom. Great.
I don't think Kalinowski is done with IG this year. I just think he's taking a break from it right now.
But
right now,
if you're Mike Kalinowski, would you be like, yeah, sure, I'll play an Innergeekdom match. I haven't really been studying, but yeah, sure.
That's true too.
I don't really see somebody of his stature.
I don't think he's just because what we've seen out of Kalinowski. I don't think he steps away from IG because that's his,
no. I don't think he's done forever.
Domain. That's his domain.
No. I'm not saying that he's done forever, but this season, if he's like, I'd like to focus on teams. Yeah. I just don't see him like, give me Innergeekdom, even though I'm not fully prepared.
I do think it's a good move because I think he does. I've said it in shows past. I think he has a better chance to get the team belt back over the IG because IG is stacked this year.
And I also don't think we've seen Chance reach his full potential.
Yeah, I think if he loses this team's title match, he switches gears and goes back to IG. But if he wins the titles back from the Founding Fathers, which I don't think he's going to do,
zing.
He stays and keeps his focus on teams because, defending the titles is what he's going to be doing.
Is Corruption Founding Fathers like 18 is on the books, right? It's going to happen.
It just doesn't matter. We don't know when it's going to happen. Right. But that's the next. So we know the next title matches will be.
Because it was already supposed to happen and then
it was
coronavirus.
It was supposed to be a throwdown.
Fuck.
But so the two title matches that we know are coming up are Corruption versus Founding Fathers and Chandru versus Smets.
But we don't know when.
We don't know when because of Corona.
Let's see how these virtual matches happen. I don't see Christian. I don't fucking know because nobody knows how long this Corona shit is gonna last for. Yeah. At this point in time, I don't see Christian putting a belt on the line virtually.
No, what I see happening, because I think at some point, either at the end of this month or the end of, or closer to the middle of May or something, because they said end of April they're gonna try to end the quarantine. I think what they're gonna loosen their belt on it and let everybody, but like keep like strict like
crew only.
Yeah,
competitors and crew only.
Yeah, because their email went out. They were gonna try to do this stuff with like really strict guidelines. So like, all right, we're not doing post or post match interviews because of the 6 feet rule.
Yeah,
I think that they're just gonna be really, really strict on that. I think that's what might end up happening.
I'm sure they could find a way around.
They'll find a way around. They will. I have my faith in.
When you've got the magic of post production,
they'll make it happen.
I think there's a will. If there's a will, there's a way.
But I think what we're gonna do now, we're gonna end the show with this last topic from Tamor Butta, another squadron commander. Again, squadron. Wow. Patreon.com/Andrew and Nicki to become a member of the squadron. So Tamor says, let's see, if you had all, if you had all the movie knowledge there is out there, which division would you choose and why? Can you yeah. So, but he has all this other stuff that he wants to do. But the bulk of the question is, if you had all the movie knowledge out there, which division would you compete in?
I'd probably say teams.
Why would you say teams?
I'd probably say teams because if I had all the movie knowledge there was out there,
would you say it's easier to?
I'm not trying to say that teams is easier than anything. Let me make that clear. But if I'm going out there alone, that's one thing.
That's true too.
But if I'm going out there and I have all the movie knowledge in the world, but I'm also going out there with Dan Merle, it's going to up my chances a bit rather than just me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm having a day where my brain's just like not working as well.
That's true too.
And I've got this person to help get me in the game, help cover my gaps, help do whatever. I just think it's more of an insurance policy. You know what I'm saying?
You have that safety net.
And if I have all the movie knowledge in the world, why would I go into Star Wars or Innergeekdom? Based on this question alone.
See, so my answer would be Innergeekdom. Just because I don't know what you define as movie knowledge. Maybe we have that argument of Aces versus the Robert Parkers? Are we talking Robert Parker's type stuff for all movies? Or are we talking more like along the lines of like a Bibiani, where like I know directors and I'm very critical about movies? See this, but I'm poking. I'm sorry, I'm poking holes in this question. But I would go IG because
It's more focused.
It's more focused. So I don't have to worry about questions about this movie from the 50s or things like that. It's all, and I'm a nerd at heart. I'm a geek to the bone. I just happen to love Star Wars more than all the other more than any other geek knowledge. So it's a combination of a lot of my favorite movies are geeky movies.
Yeah.
And the fact that the division is more focused. So I can, my mindset will only have to be focused on this bubble of movies. Yes. Just because, you know, they're movies that I love more than most other ones. So that's what I'm saying.
That's a good point. Because second place to teams, based on my logic of, it's nice to have a safety net with a second person. The second most thing I would jump into within the bounds of that question would be Innergeekdom.
Yeah. And this kind of...
I would not jump into singles, and I would not jump into Star Wars. If I had all the movie knowledge in the world, it would either be teams or Innergeekdom.
Yeah. And it's kind of like awkward to ask an already competitor. Like, I have my shot. I've jumped into Star Wars. Because that question was asked to me in my audition. And he's like, because I got my auditions like, so do you see yourself going into any other division? It's like, it's like I could see myself in IG, but Star Wars is my thing. I think I can definitely swing in. I could give an honest try at IG, but I have the best chance of competing in this league is Star Wars.
Yeah.
So default answer is yes, Star Wars, because I already have all the Star Wars knowledge.
Yeah.
But but if I had all this movie knowledge, I'd still stick to IG.
I would say teams or IG.
I'm a nerd geek boy at heart, so that's my answer.
Nord.
What do you guys think? Comment below or comment in the live chat, because this video is premiering on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Andrew and Nikki. Don't forget to like, comment below on everything that we said so far in this episode, and share, and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to be notified when we go live on Tuesdays for Going Rogue, our weekly Star Wars stream. This week, I think we've already confirmed. I don't think everybody's familiar with this person. I've been following him for a long time. Not a long time. His channel is very new. I think it's for the past year or so. But we've been talking back and forth on Twitter. I actually don't know his real name. If you look on his YouTube channel, his name is the AT Chat. Very
AT All Terrain. Am I right so far?
Mm-hmm.
All Terrain.
Mm-hmm. Come on, you got it.
All Terrain.
I'm not giving you any hints. Armored transport.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yes, but AT Chat will be on Going Rogue this Tuesday. So if you're not familiar with him, go check out his YouTube channel. He has some great videos. I can't wait to sit down and talk Star Wars with him on this Tuesday on Going Rogue. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. We're over an hour. So
shit.
Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Well, I say things mostly on a site called twitter.com. And my name is Dimmy, at Dimmy.
You're slouching. Sit up.
Whenever I take a drink, I end up like... because I'm not into the ASMR where you can like hear them swallowing. It's so gross.
Don't forget to sit up, though.
So I feel like I'm like...
Trying to go him.
Dimmy. DIMMMYYY.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, even though I don't post there anymore.
I don't post on Instagram
at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANT. Again, AT Chat will be joining us on Going Rogue this Tuesday. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel to be notified when we go live. Yeah. Next week on Beyond the Schmoedown, we were going to have the Barbarian will be on with us next week. I believe it's next week. I got to check my calendar. But yes. But while we're on the topic of Barbarian, go send him some thoughts and prayers, and just tell him your support,
anything.
His wife isn't doing great. She's fighting this illness. I won't go into the details of it because we've been talking on Twitter, and he just needs to talk to somebody.
And he has been posting too.
He has been posting. So go over to all his social medias and show him some love. He's such a great guy.
And especially right now, even just an acknowledgement of like, hey man, I'm here.
Yeah.
That means the world.
So yeah, go over to all his socials. Tell him like, hey, thoughts and prayers, man. We're here for you. Because the wife's not in the best of health
Sonia's
right now.
not doing. She's having some problems.
Yeah, so,
but we just gotta let Craig know that we're here for them.
Exactly. So, but do join us next week for that because he will be on the show. Again, if you want to help support this channel through the Patreon. Patreon.com/Andrew and Nicki NICKI.
Yep, that's me.
And I think that's it. Besides that, t-shirts. We still have t-shirts at TeePublic. Branding. Everything is basically at Andrew and Nicki. So go check out our shirts there. So with that, I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up today's show. Thank you again for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you next time.